This is a Stock Trading Reality Podcast, episode 37.
I invested in one thing only, one paper, one ticket. Okay, so no risk management whatsoever, not stop losses, nothing.
This is the Stock Trading Reality Podcast, where you get to see the realistic side of a trader's journey. Get inspired and stay motivated by everyday normal people who are currently on their journey to trading success. And this is your host. He once ate 10,000 calories in a single day, Clay Trader.
Yes, this is true and actually documented. So what we'll do is put a link to this in the show notes, but I did film this entire thing. It's very popular in the weightlifting and fitness community. And to be honest, I just love to eat. So I thought, hey, you know what? Why not try this challenge? And I kind of used the excuse, the YouTube channel hit 10,000 subscribers. So I'm like, okay, I'll eat 10,000 calories because the YouTube channel hit 10,000. But that was just all a ploy. I just wanted to eat. I wanted to see if I could do it. So whether or not I did it, you can watch the video and find out. I guess kind of the fun fact already gave that away. But if you want to see the documentation of this, you can go and watch that in the show notes. I guess it embarrassed my wife. I found this out later, that she was embarrassed by it. But I thought I conducted myself nice. But I'm assuming she's just embarrassed by the fact that I put this publicly out there. But hey, you know what? It was fun. I had a good time. IT Nate, our producer of the podcast, he was the cameraman the whole time. He just laughed at me. But I don't know. It was a good time. Ches, have you ever eaten 10,000 calories?
I haven't because you've been much more strict and disciplined in your diet and weightlifting for 11 months now. So my journey has only begun. I'm only about 3 months in, so I don't deserve 10,000 calories yet. But I'm just going to tell you, and I'm sure the community would agree with me that we're just happy you're not dead. So thank you for not dying during that.
It was kind of funny when I think about that. Patty, I remember especially, and he's an earlier guest, actually the person with two parts, but he was like literally freaking out, thinking I was going to die. And I said, Patty, man, I don't eat like this every day. This is like a once, like ever. So this is not a normal routine. But some people literally were kind of scared. And I'm just like, wait, people, chill out. This is a one-day thing. I'm usually pretty strict on the diet.
You were trying to figure out who was going to, carry the torch once you had passed. And that was the whole place would have just burned down if you were to kind of not make it through that challenge. So we're glad you did.
Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, like I said, you can watch that in the show notes. We'll link that there. Today, I'm super excited. We are actually interviewing our second international member. I made the comment in the interview that, I don't really count you Canadians as being international. So sorry. I mean, you're just our neighbors to the north. But today we're talking with Jose, and he's not very too active in the chat room, but he is a member of the community. He's a member of Clay Trader University. He's got, he's got a job that travels a lot. I get the impression he does very well for himself. So he's very busy. I'll leave it at that. So he's not too active in the chat room. He'll show up once in a while, but he's definitely somebody that holds a place near and dear to my heart, as I'll explain. But we're interviewing him. He showed us right before we started, these mountains of Chile that are outside his his window right now. So he is from Chile. He's another international member, and he's got some great insights. He's got a good sense of humor, and I think people are going to get quite a bit from this interview. So let's get started talking with Jose. Well, before we even get started, I want to, and I already thanked Jose in kind of our pre-little chat here, but Jose holds a special place in my heart. And he's a member that there's a lot of members, but Jose always just sticks out to me because even before claytrader.com was started, which we're coming up on about 2 years now, when I released some of my training courses, literally the first or second day, Jose would just buy. He would just always buy, which always made me feel good. It's like, all right, well, this person's finding value in my courses and he trusts me. And I understand everybody's different, but it always irritates me a little bit when people say, hey, yeah, I bought this course and that course and they were great, but I'm not quite sure on this new one. I just don't know. And it always makes me think, so you think you like my first two courses, and then you think this next course is just like I threw in the towel and it's pure garbage. So it's always kind of, that's just one of my little pet peeves. But Jose, he's always been the man. Like I said, literally first or second day, he would buy, and it just, that always makes me feel good. It's like, all right, this guy fully trusts me. So like I said, I told Jose that we had our little mushy gushy moment. But Jose, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Clay. Thank you.
And we got a nice little picture of the mountains. Jose is currently in Chile right now. And I learned that your summer is just getting started. Is that right, Jose?
That's right. Just starting. It has
Just-
been relatively cold until now. Now it's warming up.
So what's quote relatively cold for me? What do you consider cold?
Maybe in the 60s.
So 60
70s.
degrees 60 degrees is cold for you, huh?
Yes.
So
Yes. Although I lived in Minneapolis, so there it was really cold.
He's
Okay,
already
yeah.
experienced the cold of Minneapolis, so he's got a
Yes.
pass. He can now call 60 degrees cold. He's done his time in the cold.
he does.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Exactly.
other than Canada, I don't think Minneapolis is basically north or southern Canada. So that is true. He has put in his time. Excellent point there, Chaz. So I'm sure we'll get more of the just kind of geographic questions as we go through. We have interviewed somebody from Denmark before, but Jose is our second international member. I'm sorry, Canadians, I don't really count you as international. But so Jose gets the title of second, international member. So Jose, let's just hop right in. What got you interested in the stock market? Where do you even learn in the stock market? And then kind of what happened to finally get you to take the move and decide, you know what, I want to put some of my money, on the line here and start trading. So let's just start right at the beginning.
Yeah, actually, it was the other way around. Once I met a guy from JP Morgan, I guess. I was about maybe 10 years ago. And I learned, what I hear was at the time in the Argentinian crisis back in 2000, 2001, he put some money that for him was not too much at the time. And after a few months, he made tons of money. Yeah, maybe it was a year after. So at that time, I said, I always been a corporate guy. I've been working for different corporations throughout time, and I saved some money. I told my wife that I was gonna put some money away that we never had. It was decent money. It was not a coin, but really nice money. And I actually was. I believe when the also crisis hit the banks in the U.S. as well. I bought Citibank at the time, but that didn't fly. One morning I got up and I saw the statement that said each share was like $4, I think, at the moment or something like this. I thought I was rich, and I didn't know what the a split was at the time. So then I learned I had the same money that before. Then I got out until American Airlines crashed. At that time, from that time till 2000, 2010 or 11, something like this, didn't do much. And then American Airlines crashed. And I said, well, this is my opportunity. So I sold everything that I had, and that was Citibank and some other thing, and put everything in American Airlines broken. It was in Chapter 11 at the time. And I think I bought 35 cents, all the money that I had.
So
Yes.
let me cut you off real quick now. But did you do any kind of
No.
research prior to this stuff? I know you had set some money aside to kind of, hopefully, make a good return on, but did you ever read any books about technical
No.
analysis or any investment books, Warren Buffett books, nothing like that?
Nothing.
So you just kind of dove straight in. You just went right into the deep end off the high dive.
Big though in the darkness. But if I would have not crossed with a book, I think it was Dan Whaley or something, technical analysis from the old Bible or something. I don't know. I don't recall now the time, but I crossed somebody that told me, you don't know nothing. I said, who cares? And then I started to read this book, and I think one from was the Christmas of 2011 or something. It went from 35 cents to 25 cents or something. I got very nervous. I sold, and then I bought back again. I started to read the book. I think after a few months, I don't know, I got scared or something, and because I read this book about technical analysis, and but it wasn't enough. I sold the position. And I learned that I was what was penny stocks at the time, because American Airlines became a penny stock. Um, so basically, the story is, if I would have not crossed with that guy, if I would not cross with that book, we wouldn't be talking right now, because I would have made many millions a couple years before, after, you know. But well, it was not my time, hindsight. But really, the strategy was, well, wait for a couple years, and this will be big money. Um, American Airlines at the time didn't. The value of the forest commons were kept, so I would have made really decent money for not working anymore, neither my kids. So, but I sold.
That
Um,
just kind of backtrack. So you said American Airlines got you interested, or at least just kind of showed you the world of penny stocks. So did you get involved in any other penny stocks at that time, or did you
several,
just
several.
you,
So yes. So with
let
American Airlines, I lost big money as well, and then I got involved with some newsletter, because I
uh-oh.
started to read what what penny stocks were, and I came across some newsletter, one that was very powerful at the time,
What's the
and
name of it? Let's see if I can remember. You can say the name.
I don't recall.
Awesome
Penny,
penny stocks, maybe?
no,
Penny stock chaser.
no,
No? Oh, okay.
it
But
was a
they
big one that went down.
okay.
Awesome penny stocks, maybe,
Awesome penny. Yeah, that they were
maybe,
really powerful ones back. And
yes,
just for listeners, what do we mean by powerful? Back now, nothing really works because the SEC is really cracking down on people. But a few years ago, when Jose's talking about some of these newsletters, I mean, they'd put out their hot stock picks, and these things would run huge, and it'd be crazy volume. And if you knew what you were doing, as long as you didn't actually believe what they were saying, you could have made some good quick money in and out. But at this point in time, at least those newsletters are long gone, just because, like I said, the SEC's been throwing people in jail, and just so there's not really any quote unquote powerful newsletters anymore. So now I'm super interested. So you find this powerful newsletter, and then how does this go for you?
it went really well for some time. I got eager. I made a lots of money. Um, and it's gonna sound weird, but I invested in one thing only, one paper, one ticker. Okay, so no risk management whatsoever, not stop losses, nothing. So I went back and forth, and made really decent money. Once I went with my boss, we took a trip to Colombia to visit the client, and when I got off the plane, I was gone. I mean, there was some money left, but most of it was gone. And interestingly enough, the previous day, the stockbroker called me up, because I had a how you call when you trade too many times a
Oh,
paper?
pattern day trading violation.
Yes, a pattern day trading violation. And that day, I had sold in the afternoon, and I said, what the heck is this? Why I can sell and buy and sell at the same time for and I don't know. I call you broker. So I called the guy, and he said, well, you can't do this. Hey, what do you mean? I said, well, I mean, please, free me up. I want to keep trading. I was like in drugs or something. And the guy said, well, I don't know. Well, yeah, okay. I want to talk to the floor, and we'll let you keep going. Damn. He let me go, and the next morning I was in the plane, got out of the plane in Bogota, and I was gone.
Just
So
what ticker symbol? Do you remember what ticker this was on?
yes.
What was it? I want to see if I remember this one.
SNPK.
Ah, yes. Yep. That was a big mover. That was a big one.
Yeah, probably was me that was moving it. But well, I didn't get discouraged, and I think at that time I ran into you. I guess you were in IHAB. There was a little ticker in the little probably I don't know, on the side of the screen about you.
So there was just something a little on the side of the screen about me, and that's how you initially came across the clay trader stuff, huh?
Yes, I think it was. I don't recall it well.
So I'm guessing this was some sort of video chart you must have watched or something. Is that when you're?
I don't know.
You just know that you finally stumbled into me at some point.
At that hub.
Okay, at iHub. And for those that are new, Investors Hub, referred to as iHub, is just a massive message board on the world of stocks. And if you even get anywhere close to penny stocks, you will probably come across the site just because they pretty much own search engines in terms of just because they have so much content. But so you stumbled on me on Investors Hub. And then at this point in your journey, kind of where did things start to go? Like what path did you get on?
Then I started to buy your courses, man.
I mean, just right away you bought them, or go ahead, Chez.
I was gonna say, was there something in the videos or something in the posts on iHub that led you to believe that there was more you could learn, or was it just you were looking to kind of, shape up your trading into maybe a little bit more of a consistent fashion?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's weird to explain. At that time, I don't know. I didn't have any strategy. I didn't know what I was doing, and I wanted to learn. That's a fact. I wanted to learn. Before meeting you, Clay, I think I thought, or my expectations were to become, I have a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say, I would say,
you do well for yourself. I've seen some of the pictures you sent me.
Yeah,
You're doing well for yourself. Yeah.
Pretty well. I travel a lot, so I don't need to do this. I was doing it more as a, probably, speeding up my retirement. Maybe that was my plan. So I wanted to speed up my retirement, but without strategy, maybe with hope and luck, based on hope and luck. Maybe
please stop, Jose. Please stop cussing. We don't use bad words like that around here. Hope and luck; those are bad words.
Hope and luck are bannable words for us. That's true.
I know, but until I met you guys, it wasn't part of my vocabulary. Okay, so I was saying, so at that time, until pre-Clay time, I was more into this hope and
hope and luck, right? Just
hope and luck mode, and then after Clay time, I became more focused on thinking on enjoying the process. I'm really enjoying the process. I would like to become a trader. But what I learned so far, it has given me so much self-security, self-confidence, but not necessarily for the trading space, for my life. Now I feel very, very, very secure.
That's a good feeling to have.
It's excellent because every time I walk, I put a door. I have a very stressful job, and I run, I work with lots of tough cookies. But since after Clay times, I feel like I'm much more effective in my work, really, because I feel secure. I don't care anymore.
And maybe that's what you needed to kind of get that confidence to. I don't really think it's that you don't care. I think it's that you know what you're doing. You know what you're capable of.
What I'm saying, but just don't mistake. In my job, in my professional life, I feel confident about myself because I feel secure. I do my best in my job, but I think, well, heck, I'm not afraid of anybody, laying me off or make me do things that I don't really agree with, because I could turn around and become a trader very quickly. It has given me really confidence on what I'm doing. So it's good. I think it's a side effect of this.
Because you know that you could become a trader if you wanted to. Your main job becomes a lot less stressful now because you know what? I don't really care about this job because I have the confidence that I can become a trader if I needed to. Exactly. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do care about my job, but it's with a different approach. It's like I'm not afraid, and I run into people all the time that is afraid of losing their jobs, and I'm not.
I think that's the first time we've had that perspective. That's That's pretty awesome. That's yeah, that's cool. And so I'm curious. I want to kind of backtrack. You said that you didn't know what you were doing, so you wanted to learn. At
Mhm.
what point did you finally admit to yourself, I don't know what I'm doing? I mean, did that was that a long process? Or, I mean, because a lot of
No,
people, they
after
think they know
reading,
what they're doing, but then all of a sudden, I mean, what caused the light bulb to go off for you that made you admit, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to learn.
that was easy. Um, the first course I bought from you, I took it very seriously, and I read it, I studied it, and I keep studying, man. Like several times a week. I'm really on it. So I don't recall if it was the trampoline strategy or becoming. I think it was the trampoline strategy, the first thing I bought. I'm not sure, and it still is my preferred strategy. I don't do options because I'm scared. I don't do shorts, although I know how to do it because I'm scared. But I do lots of trampolines. I'm a bottom fisher, so to speak.
I got,
Um,
I gotta just this is I love how Jose. This is why Jose is a good trader and why he's becoming a better trader. He just flat out told us, "I'm scared. I'm scared to short. I'm scared to do options." And you know what? As traders, as men, we got our egos. As traders, the reputation on Wall Street is you can't be scared of anything. You got to do this. But if you don't feel comfortable doing something, if you're scared to do it, then don't do it. Stick with what you're comfortable with. And that's what Jose's doing. He's bottom fishing. He's playing more. He's got his set. And, he just flat out, I love the just the bluntness. I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to do that. Therefore, I do that. Well, so many people get themselves in trouble because they have this false preconceived notion that, well, Wall Street traders, you got to be tough. You got to be able to handle anything that's thrown your way. No, false. That's not true. Admit what you feel comfortable with and then hone that, craft that into something that's just super effective. So I'm sorry to cut you off there, Jose, but
no, no problem.
that's fascinating, man. I'm good for you for being able to just be honest with yourself, and find what you really feel comfortable with.
Just to take the course and try it and experience real life with real money and take the profits give me the courage to take the next one. And just it was just a snowball effect. So I got eager for learning more. um, and and I wish I could do many other courses, but I still had trouble doing the options course. I get it, I do it, and I don't know. It feels weird.
But just like Clay said, and just like you said, you kind of found what worked for you, and you just kind of hammered on it. You review it, you practice it, and you apply it. And like Clay said, it's more about finding where you fit in this market than it is about being a jack of all trades. Because trust me, I could list off 50 strategies, but I can assure you that 48 of them usually don't make me any money, and there's no sense in kind of focusing on those. If the two that do make me money, I should be focusing most of my time on.
Yeah, and the other thing that gave me encouraged me to keep going is that, and I think I told you this, Clay, before. I think, and it's funny when I tell this to myself, that somehow I'm able to see the future with some degree of confidence of that may happen. So at least in the short term, um, and that's amazing. Just look at the chart and what's going to happen. Pretty much. Sometimes it goes wrong, but that's life.
And that's what risk management is for, right?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yep. Yep. We're
I'm a buy holder from time to time. I get in love with some tickers. Um, but one thing that I know, you know, play is right.
I'm only right if I'm right in the sense of risk management matters. I think I'll
I
leave it
know.
at that. If,
Yeah,
if you don't believe me that risk management matters, then go out there, don't use stop losses, and just let me know how well that works for you in the long term. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're not going to have winning trades, but long term, let me know how not trading with risk management as your main focus goes. And so that's
yes, sir.
something where I will say I'm right, and anybody else that says risk management is rule numero uno, then they're also right. So I mean, I'm kind of curious about this because you have, I know for your job, you do lots of traveling. So for people out there that have jobs that maybe can relate to your situation, how do you trade? What's kind of your routine? When are you studying? When are you actually putting on trades? So for somebody with a day job, and in your case, like I said, somebody that travels a lot, tell us kind of how I guess just how does your trading work given the
Yes.
circumstances?
Well, I got to tell you, after the first initial time with your courses, um, it was difficult to manage at work. But then I think I was able to get over it. And I was able to manage it. But I mean, I don't do a lot of scanning. I look at the newsletters that are very useful to me, very very useful. And I look at those, and I have some others. I look some papers from Brazil and from countries with problems. Um, but I look a lot to the newsletter. And someday I spend a few hours look at the charts that you send, the ones that are the tickers that I look. I have several. There are big companies with problems, and make a decision on which ones to follow the week. Sometimes I program the platform to do it for me. Sometimes um, I skip, Monday mornings a little bit. If like half an hour, I go for coffee before the bell opens, and I look at the tickers, and then you know, make a move. Or if not, just let it pass. But I'm doing quite well. Um, so my trades last on average, I'm about 4 days, 3 days and a half, 4 days trade. Um, I don't do much trades. I invest in two or three tickers. I'm doing well. On average, I'm doing very, very well.
A quick
Good.
question. Just I know Ches, you had a question for him, but just out of curiosity and to show my ignorance, is 9:30 a.m. Eastern time here in America? What time is that down in Chile?
Right now it's 11:30. 9:30 would be 11:30. Just 2 hours ahead of you guys.
Okay, so
So
11:30 a.m. for you is 9:30. So is that kind of like right on your lunch period?
no, not really, but near.
Now, I know things you said are going well, and like I said, you found what works for you, and I'm gonna totally agree that it's not about, especially for you and kind of being busy with work, it's not about quantity of trades, it's about quality of trades, and you seem to have your criteria for what you look at, and that's key. You know what you're looking for every night, every for the week. But what do you think is an area that you could possibly improve upon? I know you're doing well, and you've kind of really flipped your trading around since you started, but what do you think is still kind of a weakness that you could work on right now?
My biggest weakness is the my risk management skills. I'm still working at this, managing my head and managing my heart. Uh, you know, Ensuring that I put those stop losses, when and don't be afraid of losing 1%. When
Okay, I want. You said I need to work better on managing my head and managing my heart. Talk a little bit
Yes.
more about that. What do you mean? Because I know what you
Uh,
mean, but listeners might be saying, "What are you talking about? Managing your head and managing your heart." Talk a little bit more about that.
Sometimes my mind says one thing, my heart says another, and I let it go, and then I became a back holder. I don't want to be a back holder, but I make it. It's a bummer, and then instead of being 4 days, I'm like 3 weeks waiting. And I know if I would have sold and made another move, I would have made much more money, and um, my speed on growing my portfolio would have increased. Time is money. Um, you know, um, I'm
I
still underwater though. I'm not in the greens, but my trend is positive, so I will become green very soon.
Yeah,
So
very good, and good point there. You said time is money, and what Jose is saying, and which is a great point, is remember whenever you're sitting there saying, "Nope, I'm gonna hold, I don't want to take a loss, I don't want to take a loss." Remember, like Jose said, you could have just taken for example, like he said, a 1% loss, and then you have that money back in your hands, and then you could go and put it in something else and get that money back. So the time value of money, remember, your money just sitting there. You hear it all the time. Well, you don't lose unless you sell. You don't lose until you sell.
Not
Well,
true.
not true, exactly. Because when your money's sitting there, you're missing, an economic term, your opportunity cost. You're missing on opportunities to not only make money, but then also wipe away that little small loss that you would have taken. So, as traders, remember that there's opportunity cost out there, their time value of money. So that stupid slogan out there, well, you don't lose until you sell. Well, as traders, you are losing because you're losing via opportunity cost. So, I mean, you're still struggling with risk management. You said that's something you're trying to work
Yes.
on. But
Yes,
I
mainly
mean,
because I'm not. Yes, and you know why? Because I'm not a trader yet. I've been trading. Um, I know the process. I'm enjoying the process to become one, but I'm not one yet. Maybe I never will.
You're
but
more of a trader than you know, but like I said, you could stick to that mentality. That's fine because I can see that you're always just striving to improve, and I think that's a real strong attribute that people have to stay in this market. And the reason that is because the market is always changing. So if you just get complacent, decide to kick back and throw your feet up, the market's going to take your money because, like I said, things that work yesterday might not work today. So you keep at it, you keep that drive to, that drive to learn and get better. That's what you need.
yeah, and I want to let's talk about loss a little bit more because since you're still struggling with it, but from way back when you first, were getting started, I mean, in your mind, can you see that you're improving? Is it becoming a little easier at all to take losses, or are you still?
I'm Einstein. I mean, I have improved big time.
Okay,
I'm,
good.
I'm, well, before I didn't know what I was doing, so now I think I do. but before I was with my eyes, blind eyes, with my eyes, with the how you call it, blinded. I was
Yeah,
walking.
you're walking around with a blindfold on, pretty much.
Exactly. Now I know when I screwed up and why I screwed up. And why do I have to do to not screw it up again? And
So
learn
let me
from
let me ask you
experience.
this. I'm going to give you a little quiz right now. I know you've been on webinar, so I'm going to quiz you right here. If you take a loss on a trade, does that mean you did something wrong?
Not necessarily. The
Well,
market might
expand.
have.
So far, you're
I don't
correct.
know. Yesterday, I used I was in a ticker you follow big time, and I do too because I love. And I put my stop loss at. I use my Fibonacci retracements, and then I say, well, this is, I put a little bit down. I don't know, it was 68% something. I just, a little bit, give it a wiggle room, and then the bastard, it went down to pick me up and get me out, and it went boom, got me out, and poof, out, up again. Um, and I didn't do nothing wrong. I mean, decent money. I could have made more, but that was fine. But did I make a mistake? No. I just put the stop loss where I thought it had to go, and I think the robot knew that I put the money there and went for me
But
and
the
got me
key thing,
out.
like you said, you didn't do it. That's not a mistake. You had a stop loss then. Now, if you said that I wasn't using a stop loss and it was a green trade, I would tell you that's a wrong trade. That is a bad trade because your habits that you were doing during that trade were atrocious. So yeah, I tried to trick you, but you gave basically the perfect answer. Yeah, just because you take a loss, it's not necessarily a bad loss. If you take a loss using rules and systems with a stop loss, that's not a mistake by any means. Now,
And I
if
know,
you go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, what you say, Clay, it really, I have a stamp it in my head, but it's difficult to do it in real life. I think the motto is to become a good loser, a smart loser. And that's a difficult thing to do, but I'm convinced that's the way. If you manage to become a smart loser, you will do well.
And that's what it's all about in this game is being pretty much a smart loser. That's a fantastic quote because in the
It's
end,
not mine, Jess. It's Clay's.
that's true. This is true. But in the end, the only thing we can really control is our risk, and that's why it kind of makes us a little nutty when sometimes people tell us they're not trading with a stop loss or something because that's the only thing you can set in advance. I can't tell you if a stock's going to go up or going to go down, but I can tell you how much I'm willing to lose and where I'm willing to say that my trade and my thesis on this stock is gone wrong, and that's okay. That's kind of like I said, you just got to get comfortable with that because you're not always going to be right. But what do you think are some personality traits you would associate with successful trading? What do you think would be like a backbone as far as a personality that really can help you excel in trading, or something you have in your own personality?
Well, I think
I know an answer for you, Jose. So if you can't think of anything, I know one thing that I've recognized already that is a great personality trait. But
okay.
you go for it.
Yeah, to me, what I think is that anybody can be a good trader. Anybody. You don't need to go to to Harvard to be a great. I don't say great, but just a good trader to make money out of the market. You need to be focused. You need to study. You need to be true to yourself, and you need to have. You need to really want to do it. I mean, I always. I think I tell my wife. I run into many people that tells me, give me many reasons why not to become a trader, or no, I wouldn't even say become a trader, but to experience, to explore the trading space. And they say, well, I don't have the stomach for this. They say, I'm not good with money. I don't have the time. I don't know, many excuses, and that's good for us because if everybody would do it, maybe it wouldn't be that nice. But there are excuses. So I think anybody that put the time, put the effort, and manage the frustration, and in Clay's chart, eventually will become a good trader and will make money.
Now,
So,
I agree, but I want to chime in here because, like I said, the one thing I've recognized about you, and Ches already beautifully commented on this, is you are a worried person. You are a very, you're a tough, in your words used, you're a tough cookie on yourself. You keep talking about, I'm doing well, but I got to improve and I got to do this and I got to work on that. And Ches and I sitting back listening are saying, I mean, wow, yeah, you understand. And by no means are we saying nobody's a perfect trader, but you're always trading worried, which means you're always wanting to improve. You're worried because you got to keep improving. A lot of people, they're never worried. They come complacent, like Ches said, and then the market changes, and then all of a sudden they're stuck there with their pants down. Whereas you're worried, which causes you to always be wanting to work, wanting to strive to get better, and that's a great personality trait to have. So I would say your worriness and your tough cookiness on yourself is definitely something that I think is going to really benefit you. So I'm curious about. Now, obviously, you took trampoline and you like trampoline, so don't give away all the good stuff. But, I mean, when you're trading, what does your chart look like? How many indicators do you have? I mean, just tell us, what are you looking at? What are some of your favorite indicators to use?
no, not many. I look to the RSI. I look to the obvious several simple moving average trends, trend lines. I look some patterns. I look to the. Let me open my chart. I forgot.
Are you telling me, though, that you don't have a blend of 17 indicators that when they all fire off simultaneously, that's the only trade you take the entire year? You're telling me that you haven't found the Holy Grail yet?
From time to time, I use Clay's flashes and Clay. I don't know.
The Clay indicator, that's what we call it.
The Clay indicators. Let me see what else I'm using. No, if I open stock charts, the ones that come standard, the RSI, what is the MFI, and the MACD.
The MACD?
That's it. And then probably three moving averages, 8 or 13, 50 and 200, and that's it.
And then, of course, I'm assuming you use candlesticks and volume too, right?
Of course, yes. Candlestick,
Yes.
of course.
And candlesticks and volume, I have met. You could probably do pretty well with those two things, couldn't you? Candlesticks, volume, and moving averages.
Of course, yes.
So Yeah, so the point, and I love it. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with using indicators and all this other stuff, but when you got when you got a million moving averages and 2 million indicators, and then you're also signing up for hot stock pick alerts from somebody, and then you're also signed up for a chat room that's supposed to be telling you buy and sells, and then you got, you're really making things a little bit more complicated than what it needs to be. So as Jose said, I mean, you just use the default of what pops up on stockcharts.com, which is that's about as
Yeah.
simple as it gets. But hey, if it works, then
I remember.
fantastic.
I remember some point in time really going crazy about the clouds. What are they called? The
Oh, the
Ichimoku
Ikimuchu.
Club.
Ikimuchi clouds and and many other things. I don't know. But it's much more simpler than that, I think.
Ches, you had some, didn't you do some stuff with the Ikimaka clouds?
Oh, Clay. Yes, I did actually. I tried to utilize it, and the thing is, I think that the only thing I know is that in the end, it was a poor way to manage risk, and that's kind of all I discovered from it. Was it okay sometimes if finding reversals, things like that? Sure, but the way it wants you to manage your risk, it was almost like a 1-to-1 RVR, and we know in the long run, if you're only making as much as you're losing over and over on 50% shots up or down, you're not going to get anywhere in life, and that's why I think, for me, it just wasn't a strategy that works. Have we had other traders that were inside of our inner circle that have utilized that? Yes. Are they still around right now? No. I don't know if that means they blew up or they just kind of, took it elsewhere. But
They
yeah,
could
I
be
did try to
millionaires,
use
and they're
it.
like, I don't have time for these little peasants anymore. So you never know, Ches.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, I did try to use it, but I didn't stick with it that long. It just didn't fit with my personality.
So I got a question here, and I don't ask this too often, but I have a feeling you might have an interesting perspective. So let's pretend, Jose, that we're walking the streets of Chile, and somebody walks up to you and says, "Hey, Jose, I have a hot stock pick. What's your response to this person?"
Show it to me.
And then what?
I will look at it, and I don't know. If it makes sense, from a
Well,
technical
expand. Look at it.
perspective.
What do you mean by look at it? What does that mean?
I don't know. Oh, I will ask, well, I don't know. Depends what what the chart will look like. I don't. In the past, I used to look at many newsletters, but I didn't know what I was looking at. It's just a ticker symbol. Now, if you tell me, this, from time to time, I get curious. I receive a newsletter and said, this ticker symbol will explode, and then I look at it. It doesn't have any volume. And man, I've been trapped several times. I confess, before Clay's time.
And that's kind of the point is now if somebody says I have a hot stock pick, you at least know that, hey, well, there's other things I should be looking at instead of just randomly buying just because some newsletter says to buy. So
Yes, the other day someone came to me and said, "Well, please tell me, what about Ferrari? Is doing the IPO? What do you think?" I said, "Well, I don't know. There is no chart. I don't know. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I'm not sure."
It sounds like earnings.
Yeah, yes, maybe. Yeah, but earnings are fun because you have some stories, some history. But here, you didn't have any. I don't know. Maybe it was good. I don't know. So it's fun. It's fun when someone tells you about, I have a tip. So, but I wouldn't know. I mean, I would look. Usually, I don't feel comfortable with people telling me I have a pick or something.
yeah, the point I was just trying to drive home is now from where you were, you now actually have a system. You have, and it all goes back to this is why you're so confident in yourself because you know what you need to be looking at. You know why you need to be looking at things. Now, does that mean that you're going to have a perfect trade every time? No, it doesn't. But at least at least you're just not going, hey, this newsletter or this person says, hey, this stock is great. You should buy it. And you're not just
Exactly.
randomly going and buying. You're putting that ticker symbol through the process. Now, you're not saying, no, screw you. I don't care. But you're not going to just randomly go out and say, oh, I'm going to buy. You put it through your system. And that, that is, what Ches was referring to earlier, just, self-sufficiency, just being able to have confidence in yourself because you actually have a system in place.
It's funny because I work. I work for a large corporation, which trades in somewhere. I don't know, maybe in New York Stock Exchange. Or something. And I obviously I have options and I have shares of that company, and I keep telling my colleagues sometimes. I say, look, it's going down. It's going down, and it goes down. Hey, maybe for a couple of days, maybe for a day, but it goes down. Um, and then yesterday somebody said, well, I don't know, this has a bearish pattern. I said, well, depends, you know. What do you mean? Like he shows it to me. I said, well, you know, I show you a bullish. I see a bullish pattern. You know, when you look at the long term, and this is coming going. um, but yes, tomorrow will fall, and it did fall. So I think it's kind of interesting to really understand the charts and they work, location, patterns. It's just really amazing.
That's great. That's great. So, Jose, a question that we have to ask all of our guests here is probably one of the most important. It's not the most important one. We'll get to that later, but it's the second most important one.
Yeah.
If I was to lend you my time machine and you could go back to when you first started trading, what is one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Well, you know, study, learn, practice, put time on it, and then trade. But you know, obviously, 10 years out, I would have more money than I have today, most probably. But the process was fun. I screwed up many times. I made many mistakes. I still make mistakes. Made operational mistakes. Made personal mistakes. Man, I did all. Got into liquidity traps. You know, got cheap shotted. How do you say cheap?
Nope, cheap shotted. Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
Cheap shotted. I don't know, man. I made I put orders that were wrong. I put stops. I wanted to put a limit. I don't know, man. I did all.
And that happens to everybody. There's yeah. Welcome to the club. You know.
I'll give you one this big story from the beginnings. A guy gives me a tip. He says, a friend of mine who used to trade, and he says, buy something like this. And it was a Chinese company. This was before the Olympics. CNTV, something like this. And he says, this is going to explode before the Olympics in China. Well, then I bought something like CMVT or something like this. It was a crap company in the US that do some steel that didn't have any volume. I didn't know what I was buying. So I bought something else. So obviously I lost money in that one. But it was fun. The process is great. I think if you think this is a marathon, this is not a one-time shot.
Yeah.
This is a marathon. You have to prepare yourself. This is not something you will, it's not sprint of 100 meters. It takes long. So you have to prepare yourself. You have to be able to breathe throughout the entire marathon, and it's long.
And I'm gonna say there's hurdles on this marathon too. So as you're going, you're gonna have things that you're gonna have to jump over and just suffer through. So a marathon
and people throwing a stone at you. You have to somewhat, be able to. I don't know how to say in English. Just to.
Yeah, I like that's actually even. All right, Ches, it's your turn. You add to this analogy. So Jose contributed marathon. I contributed hurdles. He contributed people throwing stones. So let's see how quick you are on your feet. Add to this analogy.
I was just gonna say getting beaten with a ruler or something, but I guess you guys getting hit with stones is a little bit more drastic than getting beaten with a ruler. So
Yes.
I think you guys got me top there.
Yeah, no, that's that's exactly what this business of trading is. But I think Jose summed it up perfectly. The advice he'd say: study, learn, practice. That's about as clear cut as it gets. So Jose, we're gonna start to move into some of the fun questions now. So this is where we're just gonna talk more about you as a person. So I'll kick off this party, this fiesta, right? That's party in Espanol, isn't it?
Yes.
A little FYI, I like Jose just because I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, so I think I know how to speak Spanish. So I try to type a few words here and there in Spanish. And Jose always humors me. He's by like, this guy doesn't speak Spanish at all, but I don't know. So thank you, Jose, for letting me attempt to speak Spanish to you in
No
email and
problem.
stuff like
No
that.
problem.
But what is your favorite movie?
Um, Gladiator. I've seen it many, 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 many times.
That's a good movie.
All right, Clay's gonna give you a pass. You can say in the community because that is a good movie that he does enjoy frequently. So that's a good
All
one.
right.
Now,
All right.
now what would you say is your favorite meal or dessert?
Dessert ice cream meal, obviously a nice barbecue.
Nice bar. All right, barbecue.
Hmm.
Now you have some time. You've spent some time in Argentina, right?
I am from Argentina.
You are so like because up
Gauchos.
here, one of my favorite restaurants. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Is Fogo de Chao, and it's a.
That's Brazilian.
Oh, that is right. Shoot, sorry. I know you guys are
Show
big
yourself
soccer.
off the podcast. Just get out of here.
Especially, I know Brazil and Argentina are huge soccer rivals.
But
So
yes, yes, they are. They are. But Fogo de Chao is a great Brazilian meat restaurant. Amazing. Very, very nice.
okay, so we're
I
still
love it.
friends.
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Um, man,
Hey, I wanna cut a deal with you right now on the air. If you're ever up in the States again, and because I know there's a Fogo de Chao in Chicago, but if you're ever up in
yes.
this area, can we meet up and will you go out and eat some Fogo de
Of
Chao with
course,
me?
if I return to Indiana, just for, I don't know, I go there from time to time, not very
Okay.
often, but I'll look you up. I go
All
out.
right. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I used to go to Amish County,
Ah,
uh,
yeah.
up northern Indiana, so I'll jump to
Okay.
Michigan.
All right. Everybody heard it here. Jose said that he would hang out with me and eat some Fogo de Chao. What about what kind of music do you like to listen to? Do you have a favorite song or a group or anything like that?
No, no. I like to Spotify, some concentration, mood type of music. I don't know. Nothing in particular.
All right, so no death metal. Okay, I guess death
No,
metal might not be the best trading music, but
no.
I'm sure someone will want to
I am
debate
I'm
in
I'm fan
comments.
I'm fan of two maybe three things: my family, the All Blacks, and the rugby team, or rugby as a whole as a sport, and trading with clay.
There you go. There
That's
you
the
go.
three things that I love. Yes.
So what do you do for fun or hobbies? Outside of trading part time, while you're there?
I used to box. Now I stopped for the last several months, but I really enjoy boxing. Um, and I love going out with my wife to do stuff
And you sent me
and
some nice
have
pictures. You
experiences.
you are you definitely take her some nice places, that's for sure. So
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm still waiting for the
Actually,
phone call where you offer to take me out someplace nice like
hey
that. But
man, if you are here, you got it. Or if you go somewhere in Latin America, I fly out to meet you, no problem.
all right. Maybe we'll have to have a meet and greet down in South America somewhere.
That'll be
So
fun. That'll be
there we
fun.
there we go. You
Yeah.
can be our tour guide. And one final question, we ask everybody this, but what 3 words? So you can only use 3 words, but what are those 3 words that you would associate with a successful trader?
I can't. I don't know. 3 words I don't have, but I can give you three concepts though that I think.
Okay, let's hear 3 concepts.
First, I think the first one is I would say is a successful trade is the one that lives his or her strategy. Secondly, a successful trader would be a one that really manages risk. Um, and the third one I noted, I think, and the last one would be to be a robot like uh, I would say this: be a robot that plays right.
So no emotions is what you're saying, because robots are just they don't care. They're just doing what the system tells them to do.
Exactly.
So find a system that works for you, manage risk within that system, and trade like a robot within that system. Don't let emotions get in the way. Is that a fair summary?
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Jose, it's time. We're gonna wrap things up here. But thank you very much for
Thank
hanging
you
out with
guys.
us. I had a great time, and everybody heard it here. If I ever go down to South America, you're gonna take me out someplace nice. So I'm
Definitely.
excited for that. And but yeah, seriously, thank you for hanging out and just sharing your journey with us.
And I'm looking forward to be in the future part of the trading rooms with you guys.
We'll keep an eye out for you. We know you're a busy guy though. So, but thank you again.
All right. Thank you, guys.
For everybody listening, I want you to do a couple things. If you are listening to this on the website, please click the share button. Leave a comment below. We always read those and like to hear feedback. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please leave us a rating. And again, all that feedback really does help out, and it lets us know that you are enjoying these. And as long as that's the case, we will keep on making them. So thank you again for hanging out with us today, and we will see you back for the next episode.
This has been the Stock Trading Reality Podcast. Thanks for taking the time to hang out. To learn more about Clay and the Clay Trader community, including the trading team, premium training, and more, visit claytrader.com.